Hi, what's up, everyone? So I just wanted to come on, and something that I've been noticing is there's just, not that I've just noticed this, but I feel like it's been escalating here recently, but there's a lot of freaking crap popping up on my social media. And just be aware of what you're paying attention to and what you're focusing on. I do feel like the way that I'm taking it is that these are distractions, right? To get me sidetracked off of like my goals, right? My ambitions, whatever I'm driven to be doing at the time, right? To sidetrack me. And the bottom line is, don't let anybody sell you anything that promises that it's going to take you somewhere that well, money can't buy, right? It's like, you can buy some things with money, but there are some things that you need to learn and develop on yourself, like on your own, you know. Yes, there are people that are teaching something that's worthwhile and can help you grow and develop in whatever industry that you're looking to move forward in, you know. But when I think about, or when I'm paying attention to, you know, because you've seen, like, I've been trying to, or I've been doing all these different things, trying to adjust my channel, trying to see like where it is exactly that I want to take this, and how I can most benefit you. And, you know, I have to get down to like my own like core values and what I stand for and what I want to do. And the bottom line is that the only reason I even started this channel to begin with was to help people, get out of the hole of their own way of thinking, right? And maybe I didn't word it like that, you know. Maybe my channel started off like, you know, with my tarot cards and like with the twin flame journey. And if you've been watching my channel, you know, since I started it, you've seen how my own thoughts and my processing has changed, and how I've educated myself, and just the things that I've embraced about myself. And the bottom line is, I promote healing. I promote healing from within. I promote being a good person. Like, what I stand for is that, like, your name and your word, that's all you got, right? And I just get upset sometimes when I see all these things being offered, and there's a lot of people taking advantage of people that don't know any better. Everybody has spiritual gifts, but to tap into your spiritual gifts, you have to tap into who you are and get connected with who you are. And for me, that's, I mean, that requires work. It requires healing. And I'm not even saying like go to, I don't know. I just see a lot of people with different titles, okay? Professional titles, even people that are even looked up to in society, and supposedly they know what they're talking about, okay? And to some extent, you know, what they're saying is true and it's valid and it makes sense, okay? But like, these people aren't doing what they're selling, you know what I'm saying? Doing what they're promoting, or even speaking from a place of experience. Some people, can read something and just like teach you it from what they've read. But that always takes me, I get pissed off about that, because it's like, yeah, that's cool. It's very, very, very important to be knowledgeable. Knowledge is power, right? Okay, I'm always going to promote learning, right? But I know for me, when it came down to it, and when I was somebody coming from an extremely broken place, right? Like when I was first getting sober, and I was just like completely distraught, and coming from this place of like having to survive, right? Do you think like I didn't want to hear how I was supposed to be living, or how to get out of surviving from someone who had never fucking been there. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tend to gravitate towards like roughnecks, like like I like people that have been there and that have been through it, and they share their stories. And not to say that you have to have like this horrible backstory in order to heal and grow. I don't believe that. I feel like part of the reason why I even come on here and like I share the way that I do is because it's in hopes that someone's out there listening, and hopefully you can learn from my experience and not fucking either not have it take as long, to get to the other side, so that you can like break through, or have your own breakthrough. I'm not knocking anybody who hasn't had a hard life or whatever, it just wasn't my way. And I know that when I first came in from the exhaustion of my life and decided to surrender to the possibility that things could be different, I couldn't hear it from somebody who had never been where I'd been. Like, how the fuck are you gonna know how to get out of there? How the fuck are you gonna know what it's like to like be where I've been if you've never been there? Like, yeah, you can like tell me like, oh, these are the results and this is what happens when people that experience this is how you grow. But it's like, no, like, I learned how to get out of the hole from somebody else who had been in the hole before me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I offer. that's what I want to share. And that's what I want to say to you. You don't have to be anybody else other than who you are. And instead of like looking for someone to, I don't even know how to say this really. Just be yourself. Like there is no fucking magic pill, right? You're even if you take some magic pill and you go to, whatever, some trippy place while you're, high off this pill, and you see whatever you see, it doesn't make you a good person. You know what I'm saying? And part of growing and developing and evolving and tapping into your gifts, because your gifts, your psychic insights, or whatever you want to call it, your intuition, it comes from clarity. And how do you get clarity? Clarity comes from peace of mind, and I had to come from a place of being like completely scattered and fogged up to get to the place, or to be able to like I have a practice that I've been doing, for over 20 years. And that's why today I can not completely go off the handles or go off the edge when the shit hits the fan, because I have been that person, but I've practiced things all this time, and I keep doing the same thing I learned over 20 years ago. And it allows me to be where I'm at, to be grateful for what I have. Okay. A lot of people could look at my life and be like, Lisa, you live in freaking, like, do you know where you live? And like, I mean, my view outside my window is like the garbage gets taken like right at the end of my building here. So it's like some on the weekends, the people that clean up the area aren't there to pick up the garbage. So, and to make sure it all goes into the whatever, the big garbage dump. So people just start like throwing it, and it gets like starts to pile up, but I'm grateful for this place. You know why? Because I can afford it, and I'm paying all my bills, and I'm not having to sell myself in any shape, way, or form to have the things that I have in my life. And I don't have to answer to anybody, and it's a beautiful feeling. It's a freeing feeling. And I never had that feeling before I stopped drinking and drugging, and it came from practicing responding differently to life. Yes, there are many traumas and issues and whatever you want to call it that I've had to work through and get to the other side of, right? And sometimes it took me 180,000 times to get over something. But I kept showing up, and I kept being willing to try. And eventually I got to the other side. I don't feel personally that I'm ever going to be I don't feel like anyone's ever going to be at some place in life where they can say, this is how it is, and this is how it's going to be for everyone, and if you don't do this, you're not going to get that. Blah. Like, no, I don't believe anybody that says things like that, and I don't feel like that is the way life is. I feel like we are here on earth to grow and learn and develop into unconditional love for ourselves, so that in return we can one day learn how to show up for other people in that sense of the way, to be able to see ourselves in everybody else, and not so much like, oh, like they're like when somebody says like they're your mirror. It's like when somebody is pissing you off, that has nothing to do with whatever they're doing. It has everything to do with what's ever going on inside you that's making you feel pissed off. Nobody else is responsible for the way that you're feeling except for you. So if you have an issue with what somebody's doing, you have to, like what I do personally is when I have an issue with what somebody else is doing, I have to look at myself and be like, Lisa, what is it within you that's allowing you to get so wound up about this person? And then I work on healing it until that fucking thing, person, place, whatever, doesn't make me flip out. I mean, I don't want to give anybody that kind of power over me. Nobody deserves that kind of power. I have worked my ass off for my peace of mind. And so today this is why I protect my space so much, and, I know that I am responsible for my own happiness. And today I don't just, I just don't, I don't blame anybody else. There are things that I've had to recover from, but I'm an adult now. And so it's like, it's my responsibility to work that shit out. Right. So, I'm responsible for my happiness today. And today I choose to be happy, and I'm not giving away my power, to others, anybody, there is a solution. The solution usually requires some sort of action, and I'm willing to take the action today. Sometimes it can feel like I'm moving through sludge in order to take the action, because it contradicts everything in my body, because I'm just this natural rebel. Or I get like, it's not even that. Well, sometimes it's that, depending on what it is. But it's like, sometimes I'm just enjoying having something to feel like I'm stuck in, or having a reason to say I can't. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, first I have to battle that statement that I can't. Okay? Something my mom used to always say is like, can't means won't. You know? If you can't do something, you're saying that you won't do something. And that like always pisses me off, because it's like, okay, like, it's not that I can't, I'm just being lazy, you know? So, and I don't like to be called lazy. I'm a very hardworking woman. I always have been. And so I find ways to motivate myself. And I feel like that's really important. This is part of why it's so important to understand yourself and to know your flaws, because when you embrace who you are to the core, and like down to the things that upset you, and your weaknesses, where you do fall short, where you've had you know, like something that's like sex, okay, or like that is a big one for everybody. I don't feel like I'm alone in that. To be seduced, you know, and to be lured by the outside, right? It's very easy. Desire, okay? But it's like, just like what I did with drugs and alcohol, and playing the tape all the way through. Okay, yeah, I can want that, okay, but let's play the tape all the way through. If I do that, let's play the tape all the way through, and what's going to be the ending consequence of that, all right? And if it ends up with me crying or feeling crazy because like I don't get a phone call, or like whatever, it's like, no, I ain't going there. I'm sorry. Nobody's worth my peace of mind. Okay. I sit back and watch people. I've learned to do this, you know, and it's taken me years, but hopefully me explaining it to people, like hopefully it won't take you as long as it's taken me. But I just mostly want to remind you, like, pay attention to, like, observe first who you're listening to. Are they, like, is what they're saying matching what they're doing, first of all, okay? And second of all, like, is it even worth listening to? Like, what does it do to your spirit when you listen to this person? Does it uplift you, or does it make you enraged or fearful? Like, if it does, like, stop fucking listening to it. And it's not to say like you're living in like a delusion. Like, it's very important to be aware of what's happening in life, right? And in the world, right? But I'm a firm believer in the way that we change the world is by changing ourselves. Because as we change ourselves and like work on ourselves and grow into who we truly are, we show other people around us that it's okay to be themselves too. We're all just been living in this world of like pretending and you know, whatever. That's a whole nother video. But it's like, just be you. Okay, be you. Learn to embrace you as you are today, because today is really all the fucking thing that matters is today. All right, and something that has literally taken me from a walking anxiety attack. I mean, I used to pick my face and pick my arms. I had scabs all over my face and I would like shake, rattle, and roll. And then somebody told me, Lisa, look at your feet. And I was like, what the fuck is this lady talking about? Look at my feet. Like, I have like 50 million. And she's like, but I did it because I respected her. Okay, I did it. And I looked down at my feet and she's like, what do you see? And I said, my feet. And she goes, yeah. She goes, that's where you are. She's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm walking into my house, and I had been carrying my baby, my son. He was just a baby at that time. And I had grocery bags and like on my hands. And I was like walking into my house, unlocking the doors, you know, and I'm like, you know, she told me to stop. And I was like standing there as I had just walked into my door, and I'm like, I'm in my house. And she said, yeah, take a deep breath. look up and do what's in front of you to do. Like, this is the only moment that matters, you know, where I was, right? She's like, we're talking on the phone. This is the only moment that matters. Everything that I had been like hyperventilating and talking about to her, like for the, 5-10 minutes before that, I just like had diarrhea of the mouth. Like, she just slowed it down. Look down at your feet. Every time your mind starts to whirl out of fucking control, look down at your feet. Why? Because it reminds you where you are. And then you can take a deep breath, look up, and just do what's in front of you to do. Repeat as many times as necessary in one day. And if you forget, watch this video again or write it down. Like, put it in your notes, like as a reminder on your phone or something. It's like, look down at your feet. Why? Because it reminds you where you are. Because this is the only moment that matters. You can worry about what's going to happen in 10 minutes, today, all that matters is right fucking now, right here. And I'm telling you, this has literally saved my fucking life. And I went from somebody who was a living, breathing, walking anxiety attack 24/7, like I was not fucking sleeping, okay? Like a mess, to a mother of two that I just like, and I'm responsible. I'm a woman of my word. I mean, it's just, it makes me tear up. Like, I never expected to be who I am today. And yes, I put down drugs and alcohol. But what happened after that is what's really, truly changed my life, and the action I took after that. Because there's so much more than just putting down drugs and alcohol, If you just put down drugs and alcohol without changing and working on your insides, either you're going to end up drinking and drugging again, or you're going to be without drugs and alcohol, but miserable as fuck and not a nice person. And I'm sorry, I didn't give up like the loves of my life to be miserable. I want to be happy. And so I understand today that that is my responsibility. And I am here as living, breathing proof today that anything is possible, because I shouldn't be here, first of all, And the things that I've lived through, people that live through and go through those things in life either end up crazy in a mental institution, dead, or addicted to drugs and alcohol, not sober and happy and responsible, with 2 children that are amazing. And they think that I'm amazing too, and they tell me all the time. And that's probably my biggest, that's my biggest flex, is that my kids love me like that, and that we have such a tight bond, and that they are so much smarter than I was at their ages. And it's my biggest accomplishment. It's my most proudest accomplishment. So I want you to go get your life and start right here where you're at, and know that wherever you're at, even if whatever it is that you want seems a million miles away, let it be there, and be where you're at, because where happiness really is right here. Forever is now, remember? Forever is happening right now. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.